welcome. We are super excited. It's episode 9, and we doing
yes, 9.
Like 9.
I love 9. 9 is one of my favorite numbers.
I'm super excited. Thank you for being here with us, because you definitely could be anywhere else and you're here, and we're so excited about that. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And keep coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, today's episode, we're going to talk about, we still under the Black Lives Matter. You know, we still want to talk about what's going on in the world today. And we just want to just put it out there because they just don't get it.
They just don't get it.
They just don't. They don't get it. Okay. So my name is Tiffany, and I am a Jewel. Hey,
hey, beautiful Jewel.
My name is Kesey. How y'all doing?
Hey, Kesey girl.
Yes. Hey.
Loving the red lip today, honey. Sad fun.
That's right. Doing it.
Yes.
Tiffany Nicole here, y'all. What's up? What's up?
Hey, sis, with the dreaded beauty over there. Dreaded beauty.
Hey, y'all. How y'all feeling out there? It's your girl, Sue. And I'm here with my Jewel. Happy to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
Hi, sis.
Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Diva Dre of the Phoenix Jewels. You guys doing?
It's Rachel.
Hey.
Lines on you, honey. I'm loving this. I'm loving the texture. I'm loving the lip. Everything, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look gorgeous, darling.
Yes. So who are the Phoenix Jewels? Who are we? The Phoenix Jewels? The Jewels. We are 5 indispensable educated women. We represent beauty, class, strength, power, and intelligence. We are sisters first. You hear me? We sisters first. The bonus, business partners all day. All right?
Absolutely.
So hit us up anytime. So let's get into today. Let's get into it.
Yes. Well, I just remembered that I'm supposed to do the fun fact. Hey, guys. But because we have so many awesome moments, it is not hard to find one. So, one of the things I wanted to touch on was just our amazing Grenada trip. Like we had, y'all don't understand,
yes.
We all did locks in our hair. So at this time I was shaved on the sides and I was blonde. So I had the blonde locks.
Right.
Tiffany Nicole had like natural color with some red and some blonde.
Yes.
And like
all
she
of us.
mixed it all the way in.
Yes.
And then Tiffany had red, and then Sue had like dark brown with some blonde in it.
Yeah.
And Drea had like a mix of blonde going on. So we all came out there coordinated everywhere we went. People was like, who are they? Yeah. And we just drew in, like, we were like a magnet. And don't get me wrong, we're like a magnet everywhere we go. You would have thought that like literally we were celebrities out there, the way people were reacting to us. And we had a blast. Think of Grenada Carnival. Like we lived our lives. And how long were we there? We were there forever.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh, it was about 2 weeks. Yeah.
For me.
The fact that we stepped off the plane. Remember, we stepped off the plane and jumped into a music video.
Yes.
Girl.
You remember that?
Girl.
Music video. Straight off the plane.
Straight off the airplane. Into our own little
Jump
set.
on jets.
Can
Hey,
y'all do our music video?
On the plane. Okay.
It's so much fun. That's an experience that I don't think we could have even imagined having.
Nah,
Fun.
definitely not.
That was a good fun fact, Casey.
Yeah.
You're making me reminisce right now.
Yes, girl.
Right.
We have too many memories to even talk about. Like, we could literally make a whole show about our Grenada time.
Yes.
Honestly, it was insane.
That alone. And a whole show is not enough, sis. It's not even enough.
Right. So let's go ahead and get into our first topic. And our first topic is about interracial dating and relationships with separate views. So that means you can have a friend who has different views than you. Aunt, uncle, it doesn't matter. And then also, of course, interracial dating. And this falls under like Black Lives Matter as far as like having conversations with people with different views and trying to even make them see where you're coming from, especially as a Black person, and the things that are going on with us in this world, and maybe having a conversation with someone who does not experience these things. So we want to kind of talk on and touch on that today.
Yes. I mean, I'm sure we can all relate. whether it pertains to dating outside of your race or just having friends, you know, people that you're always around of the opposite race, that just don't get it sometimes. So I asked my sister, one of my sisters, she usually joins us every week, Danny Ocean, but she's not here right now. She had to work.
Hey, Danny.
Danny, we miss you. We miss you.
But she gave me a scenario. What she said to me was, I recently met up with an old friend who was white at her house to catch up, meet her kids, and reconnect with her mother and sister. It was a nice time or whatever. Of course, her mom asked me how long my hair is now. And, you know, she said at that time she had passion twists in her hair. She's like, it's just annoying when you were asked about your hair and all this stuff. Like, what's the point? So anyway, she said a day or two later, she discovered that the old friend that she went to meet had posted that meme comparing George Floyd's death to Tony Timpa. I don't know if y'all heard about that. They're just saying like Tony Timpa had to deal with the same brutality or worse, because like just making it seem like George Floyd was nothing. So she said that she read through every comment on that post. So many people, including her sister and mutual friends of theirs, were calmly trying to get through to her in ways, and they found that to be appropriate. She said, I noticed her mother and uncle in the comments as well, but they were angry and so supportive of the post. You know, the all lives matter type. That's where she gets it from, the blind ignorance. There was no getting through to her. And it's sad because she'd rather stick to her opinion than take the time to try and educate herself on the realities of what is really going on in the world. And she gets it from her family, clearly. She said, I felt a way about that. I just saw her and all was all right. So if she's trying to continue this friendship, we may need to have a serious conversation because I can't be bothered otherwise. Now, she better than me, okay? I don't got the patience. If you don't get it, I'm cutting you out. Like, you can relate to me. You giving me excuses. You talking about my peoples. There's no friendship. I see your true colors. I don't care. Like, you talking about that George Floyd. We're not related, but that's my brother. Like, you're not about to do that, sis. We have nothing in common at this point. So you can go. That, like, I would have been livid.
I mean, I definitely feel you with that, but maybe she really values her friendship. Not saying that gives her the pass at all, but I'm saying maybe that's why she wants to actually have a conversation with her. Maybe because she values it, and maybe she figures if she has to talk with her first, at least to kind of see if she can enlighten her a bit. Maybe that's her reason behind it. I don't know, because I don't know how long they have a friendship. But for me, as far as I'm concerned, I would, depending on how, maybe if I value that person that much, I will try to enlighten you. However, if that goes left, then I'm out, because you can't relate. There's no point. Like, what are we doing here?
I'm definitely willing to enlighten you as well, but I still feel like after you showed me your true colors once, I will never look past that. I will never forget that. Like,
absolutely, right.
We can't be real friends without me having this weird feeling towards you. So I'm gonna tell you about yourself, and then I'm
definitely understand where you're coming from with that.
So I don't know.
Definitely gonna have a conversation. Yeah, I think they would get a piece of my mind before I just completely cut them off. Just because I've completely unrelated, but I've cut people off for other things and they didn't even know why I cut them off. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to let somebody know where they're wrong and then let them go. Because otherwise it's one of those things like, how do you know? Not saying this person doesn't know, but like, so that's why I feel like I would have to say something, and then depending on how that go, then it might just be like, okay, I'm done with you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's it.
Agreed. Same thing I said. I mean, really.
But I'm sorry, what was this person that you said she was comparing the situation? I really don't know that situation. Do you know it?
Yeah, Tony Timpa.
Okay.
So they had like a side-by-side comparison. Tony Timpa was killed by police brutality after the policeman had 13 minutes kneed on his back above his lungs, and they were joking that he passed after. They said zero fucks given by people. Two same situations, two different reactions from the society. Like, what? Like, what? Like, so they're just saying like, so what? Tony Timpa was worse than George Floyd. So what? Like,
okay, yeah.
How could you say so
what?
Like,
nah, yeah. Ain't no conversation to be had. But you're gonna get a piece of my mind. You're gonna get a piece of my mind with that one.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I really did not know that situation. So I didn't want to like, that's why at first I wasn't even going to respond enough because I'm like, I don't even know what the situation is. I didn't want to talk, but thank you for clarifying that for me. So yeah. Okay. I completely get you, Tiffany Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tiffany Nicole. I agree.
Mano on Facebook said that I'm mixed, so dating me is interracial by definition. I want to know, like, I would want to know a person that is a mix of race, if they're mixed and then they date a person that's not mixed, and still you got to have some type of understanding of where they come from. Because if you're dating a white person, but you're mixed and you half white, half black or whatever, it's still going to be some kind of conflict if they don't understand where you've been, what you're going through, and empathize or have some type of compassion when it comes down to something that happened like George Floyd, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a little rough.
Right.
Like I've never dated outside my race to know, like, you know, outside, like white or European or whatever. I never dated outside to know. So I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've definitely dated outside my race, and I've had to have conversations with people, even friends. I have a lot of white friends too. So this is one of those things where, hold on.
Uh-oh. He's like,
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine it's difficult.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I can imagine it's difficult.
I'm like, the barking, I didn't want it to be a distraction. So I've had to have conversations even with friends and just see what their views are without me even giving an opinion. Like, what do you think about this? And actually a lot of them have reached out to me about it too, and trying to have those type of conversations. But so like dating as far as someone who's completely not black outside of my race, I've dated someone who they get, like, in this situation going on, it seemed like they get it. Like, we would have conversations and it made me feel like, okay, so I don't got to cut you off. You know, like you get it, you're hurt by this, and he was having conversations with his friends who didn't get it. And his friends were saying some very ignorant things. An example, and this is where I got pissed off. An example was the Aunt Jemima thing. Jemima? Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, Aunt Jemima.
So one of his friends said, what's the big deal? It's just their face on a pancake box.
what?
Yes. So this was ignorance.
Oh.
And I was like, and what did you say? He's like, oh, I tried to explain. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, excuse me, this is not the only incident that he's brought up with this friend. And I was just like, so now what? Because they're not even trying to get it. Now what? Like, this is still your friend?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of went off because I'm like, you kind of are a representation of your friends. And I'm like, I understand you understand things a little better and you want to kind of educate them. But some people, is at a certain point, you got to be done. And if you continue on knowing they have these ridiculous views, like, what does that say about you? I was like, you could be friends with somebody for 20 plus years and then something like this happened and you see who they really are. So you gonna hang on to them because it's 20 plus years in?
Right.
But no, at the end of the day, we all mature, we grow, and we separate. So at this point, you gotta go. You gotta go. So that's kind of where I got an issue with him. Not anything that he was saying, some things he didn't understand, and we had great conversations about it. But then he's telling me about these friends, and it's like, well, we grew up in elementary. So what?
So what?
Y'all were not the same people.
Back then,
Y'all are different.
Yeah.
So I don't get stuff like that. But
was that really his thing? Like, oh, well, we grew up together. Was that really his response?
That was one of the things that he said about this person. Yeah.
So he's not really trying to get rid of
together.
them. He doesn't really he don't really see the value in getting rid of them.
I don't care if y'all was
he's valuing the wrong things. Once again, time doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
Time don't mean a
You're
damn
right about
thing.
that. It does not mean
like
anything.
That's like being in a relationship for 20 years and the person been cheating every single year. And you like, but we've been in here 20 years. No, at some point, let that shit go.
Yeah. Right. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if y'all watch Insecure, but
yep.
When she put that, like, if we gonna date, you got to put your brother in his place. Like, how you not gonna,
correct?
Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't care if y'all really good or not. Okay, you're dating a
yeah. He was making excuses for his brother on what he said. Yeah, I felt that.
I definitely saw that episode. Yeah. I mean, my cousin
she was
had a similar Yeah, of course. But she was right though. She was right. My cousin, she's dating outside of her race.
Okay.
And she's having a little bit of different experience than Kesey, where her experience was like she's frustrated and annoyed and upset about what's going on in America right now with the injustice, the inequality, and the killing Black men and women for no reason at all. And she just was frustrated, and so she came home and was venting to her guy, who's white, and she's venting to him about it, and she just felt like, okay, do you really understand my views? Do you understand? Because the most she said he does is just like gives like a head nod, like, I understand, babe. Like, try to console her because he really can't identify or relate. Like his race doesn't, the white race don't experience, it's two Americas in all reality. Like they don't experience our life at all. So they will never be able to understand. They will never be able to identify with you. So she just feels like, she's talking to a wall, a blank sheet. And she's just like, I don't know how to feel. Like, if I can't talk to the person I'm with about what I'm going through, like, what is this? What's our next step? So, I mean, I didn't have any advice for her at all. Because I'm like, I don't know. I haven't dated outside my race. I don't know what it's like, but I can imagine. That's like talking to one of my friends who like only apples, and I want to talk about oranges. They looking at me like,
right.
I don't know about oranges. I want to talk about apples. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's two different things,
Yeah,
so I didn't even have any advice for her, but I told her, I'm like, I think he's doing the right thing in a sense, with just nodding his head and consoling you, because what else is he gonna say? Like, if you put like a movement together where he can support you, or like donate, or like, sign a petition or be helpful in that sense, he can do that. But as far as trying to really have a conversation with you, he don't want to say the wrong thing and upset you or tick you off, and you're already on 10, and he's trying to say something and you think is like, oh hell no, what you done said, nah, you don't know about my people, that's just a setup. So I mean, I think he's doing the right I think he's doing the right thing by like, yeah babe, I hear you, or right on, but she wants to have she wants to have like a dialect conversation where it's like, how we talk with each other, like yeah. And I think she can't have that kind of conversation. So that's one of the things you got to think about when you dating outside your race. Like, what do you guys feel? What you think?
Wait, why can't she have that conversation?
Well, she's saying she can, but she's saying like it's pointless because she's talking to herself. Like, she wants him to be able to engage in a conversation. That's
something for her to evaluate.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we can't have these type of conversations when this is directly affecting me. Then why am I even with you?
Why are we still together?
Because you were somebody who turned a blind eye at that point.
With that being said, Casey, and someone to know if you was married to someone like that, if that was your husband, would you stay or would you divorce him?
Oh, he would have to go. He would have to go. He would have to go, because at the end of the day, I can't do nothing about being Black. I'm going to be Black to the day I die. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
If you can't see what I go through and what other Black people go through, and you can't even try to relate or try to realize where you went wrong or whatever, then how could I be in a relationship with you? And at the end of the day, when we have kids, guess what? Our kids are Black. I'm sorry, I don't say mixed.
Facts.
They're Black. That's what they're seeing. They're Black.
You're right.
So you're right. Therefore, you're having Black kids and you still don't see it. Why are we together?
Yeah.
Exactly. There's no point.
Yeah.
No point.
Yeah.
If y'all agree with what Kesey said, please put your fists up one time. Thank you.
It. And Mano also
let's see those fists in the comments if you agree with her. Let's see those fists in the comments.
Even though he's mixed, his mother is Black. He dated exclusively Black. He was raised in the Black community as a Black man.
Yes. Well, he's seen as a Black man to America, so that's it.
Right. Because at the end of the day, if they was to really want to separate us as far as our race go, mix don't mean nothing. They're gonna look at you as a Black person.
It really doesn't.
They're gonna look at you as a Black person. So it's like people that's mixed or think they lighter and they better. Are you kidding me?
No, you get treated like a Black person. Period.
Period.
And they'll find out real quick.
Like a Black person.
And has she ever tried to have that talk with him, or no?
Are you talking to me, sis?
Yes, sis. Sorry, Sue. Yeah, you, babe.
Oh, yeah.
She
She
has.
She had the conversation. Well, that's where her frustration is coming from, because it's like, she talks to him and he listens, like he's that ear. He gives her the ear to listen, but then like she feels like he can't relate. He doesn't reply back to her. Like, what do you think? Like, for instance, like, what do you think about George Floyd? Like, he'll be mute. Like, I really don't want to comment on that because that's not, I want to say one thing. But he needs like, he's worried about getting
that's
her
a problem.
That's a problem.
Have a comment.
Yeah.
Everyone has an opinion about George Floyd. Everybody has something to say about that. So if you can't make an informed opinion about what's happened, it's kind of like, okay, do you have any? Are you lacking empathy? Are you lacking? I don't know, oblivion? I don't know.
But he don't want to piss her off because his view is like what?
Right? Is it bad?
Like, what's the big deal?
Is it against her?
Well,
because you get what I mean. I don't understand.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's what I'm just like, so I asked that question, like, has she tried to talk to him?
But my thing is like, this is the person he has to live with. Like, he don't want to say the wrong thing and then we have to live in a house and be mad. He should be mad at him for like the whole day. But I want to hear your true view.
Like, you can fix it if it's not too crazy. But they need to have those conversations. Right. She needs to see where he stands. But that's his silence. What did they say? Silence is not silence.
Golden.
Silence is betrayal.
Golden.
Right there.
Oh, silence is golden. Betrayal, all that, right?
No. Spencer said he believed that you should marry within your own race because you can never really have a true in-depth conversation and grow, basically, if you don't marry within your race. I don't know if that's true.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, I get it because at some point,
you know what I would say to that?
See things differently.
Yeah, but what I would say to that is a lot of things. Like, now is the time to have these discussions because these are now couples are forced to have these conversations, right? Yeah. Because it is everywhere you look, is everywhere you go, is on every channel, is on a newspaper, is in your magazine, is on your news feed, it's everywhere, and everyone's talking about it. So now you're forced to have these conversations with your interracial partner. I mean, your other race partner. So like now you have to have these conversations. Where before, when they was dating, they probably wasn't at their table or their first date talking about Rodney King and how he got beat up. You know what I mean? Like, they wasn't talking about that. They wasn't talking about how they get stopped just because, or they get stopped and frisked in the Bronx or in Brooklyn, but when you go up to the suburbs, you don't get stopped and frisked. You see, like, they're not having those conversations at their first date. So there wasn't, so like they probably built their relationship off of love and just liking each other. And now they're forced to have these conversations. So now it's like you're starting to see people true colors and what they believe in and what they don't, if silence is betrayal. So now you have to now look at your partner like, what the fuck? Like, I married you, I'm with you. Like, this is the problem. So like a lot of people probably won't make it out of this movement because this shows and tells a lot about a person. Because like, I need you to have an opinion. I need you to understand where I'm coming from. I don't need you to be a yes ma'am or yes sir. I need you to relate. And if you can't relate with my struggle, then this relationship is over. In my opinion, you got to go.
But it's kind of like when Trump started running for office. Do you know how many people were in relationships? And one was with Trump and the other one was not. And the turmoil that it caused. I can remember I worked at a hair salon then, and it was pretty much mostly white clients. Right. And the women would come in and they would discuss it freely. And they were like, yeah, I couldn't even tell my husband I didn't vote for him. They had to do that silently.
That's crazy.
Like, how crazy. But you still with them.
That's crazy.
To Americans.
Why do people place so much value on being with somebody just because they married them? You have to be with them? And then you become miserable, and then what?
I mean,
no, but there's so many people. It's like, now we're in this for life. But you can grow apart. Things can change. And situations like this, like when Trump got into office, that was a make or break situation. Like, yo, I love you, but we can't do this. This George Floyd and this whole Black Lives Matter movement is the same thing. Like, dang, now I know who you are. I can't do this. It's like,
right. And since people just don't get it, which brings us back to our topic. People just don't get it. Like, if I'm with you and you don't get it, you don't get what I'm going through, you just don't get it. And that's just okay because we just don't got to be together.
Right.
Like, I'm going to go home
even
with myself.
Friends. Even friends. Like, no relationship, no friendship, no nothing. Just keep
But that's
moving.
why you can't rush into things too.
Life doesn't, right. Say it again.
When you in love,
and while you're dating, you gotta ask these questions. And this is something now people know when you're dating, to ask these questions, because this is crucial. Now we know, like, if you're dating outside your race or just dating a person in general, because just because they're not in your race doesn't mean they could be the same race and still not get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could be one of us and still not get it. So I had that conversation on date one. On date one, like, what's up? What's your view?
They're the main ones that don't get it.
Right.
Like, I saw, have y'all seen?
Even crazier.
I seen a tweet from Giuliani. Have y'all seen this tweet? Like, I had to
girl.
I don't believe it. I think I got it from you, Sue.
Posted.
Please tell me what this is. I don't think I've seen it.
All right. Giuliani's gonna say, he's gonna post, he's gonna say, wake up, on all caps. He go, Black Lives Matter want to destroy law enforcement and bail, empty prisons, including drug dealers as well as users, with reparations and full-time government income without putting in the necessary work. When I tell you that's somebody that don't get it, like, are you kidding?
Absolutely.
Now, are you kidding me for him to say that? We don't want all those things. We want them within reason. We want to be equal. We want the same things that the white people get. You know what I mean? We want equality. And if he don't see that, he don't get it. When I saw that tweet, I was like, what?
But now
maybe he do get it.
Their true colors. They started.
No, but wait, but maybe
feeling like that.
Maybe he do get it, but he's saying that statement so that other people who are like, oh, that's what that means. Oh no, I'm not with that. Because you know there's gonna be some people who was all for Black Lives Matter, hear that dumb mess, and now
But again, if somebody can tweet that and make someone say, oh, that's what that means, that means they never knew what it meant anyway.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for it.
But
my thing is, before I go behind any movement, I'm
going
to look into it.
And didn't even know what they were there for.
Exactly.
Like, come on, let's talk about it.
Crazy.
I gotta look into it. What am I protesting for? I want to go into, if I'm going to follow the movement, I need to research it. It's common sense. Like, you want to research it so you're not standing there looking stupid. You stand there saying, yeah, Black Lives Matter, but it really means kill all Blacks. No, you got to really look into what it means. Do you stand for that? If that's what you stand for, what you believe in, then you go protest, you put your fist up and you go. You know, it's just all about education.
Right.
People don't want to educate themselves.
They don't want to.
Right.
Oh my God.
They don't want to.
Lord.
They're scared of knowing the real truth.
I mean,
they don't know the real truth. That's all.
I mean, when it's not knocking at your front door, your view is always going to be different. That's just the bottom line. When it's not knocking at your front door, it's not your cousin, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your mother, your wife, your husband. When it's not knocking at your front door, you don't get, it doesn't affect you. This has been happening to our community for over 400 years plus and counting. So it doesn't affect you the way how it's going to affect me. And that's okay. And if you don't understand something, be quiet. Simple. Because you don't understand. Just be quiet. And it's okay to be quiet. Like, I don't understand. I have to educate myself more. But a lot of people like Mayor Giuliani, he is what do you say? He is definitely bothered. He's bothered by the fact that Black Lives Matter movement is getting this much attention. People are waking up. People are supporting it, and it's affecting him and his community. And that's why he really big mad. But at the end of the day, if we wanted all those things that you listed, we are entitled to them just like the next person. Yeah. Like, don't make the law okay for one person, like, or for the white people to get, a year or 6 month probation for killing somebody, but then you give the Black man life in the chair. Like, understand, it needs to be equal, period. Same crime, different sentences, period. Across the board. So, like, either you need to face that, and if you're not willing to face that, be quiet. And, like, nobody's listening to you. How about that? Like, Julio.
I don't understand how they don't get that.
No, they just don't get it.
That's why I feel like it's not a situation of everybody not getting
crazy,
it.
like that we're asking for equality. It's like, why is it so hard to realize that that we want equality just like everybody else? Like, just like the white man gets it, why can't we get it? Why is it so hard to understand? That's what we want. Huh? You want to layers of madness on top of it. It's so silly to me. Makes no sense.
But you seen how long it took them to, first let us know about Ahmaud, to let us know about that case, and then to convict them. It took like over 3 million signatures to get the DA switching to change. Like, it was a whole worldwide nation movement for that to happen. So they know exactly what they're doing wrong, but don't think they'll be ever forced or pushed to do it. And it's like, come on. Like, right is right.
Keep giving these cops passes, like, it's so hard. I read it somewhere, like, somebody was saying it was so hard to convict a cop. Like, no, why is it so hard? Because if I do it, you convict me with no problem, with no thought at all. So why is it so hard to convict a cop?
Right.
Because they want
he did wrong. If he did wrong,
they want to turn a blind eye. You got to think about, they all consider themselves a family, and that's just crazy. Like you convicting your own family member. So that's why. And they feel like, I get that's why, but it's ridiculous. They say they were scared for their life. BS. That's all the way BS.
Right.
That cartoon. Girl. I can't believe that cartoon on YouTube. That just blew my mind. I was like, what the hell? Who would draw this and think that's okay? Draw it and put it out there. Like,
what's the cartoon?
So
it was called, I forgot. I gotta look.
I could not believe it. I was just like, what?
When describe what you're talking about.
It basically what's going on in the world with the cops killing and shooting an unarmed Black man, but it wasn't a Black child. But it was a Black child.
It's
Yeah.
called Office Choker on YouTube. Office Choker.
Office choker.
Oh my.
So
Okay.
I
And
asked
that's
some,
the
I sent
title.
it to someone,
Okay.
and their reaction was, well, maybe this was made so to get people to see what's going on. And I was just like, so they had to make a cartoon? I'm like, there's gonna be
How
some
can you not see-
little black boy
That
who
would
is
see
going
that.
to
Right.
Google or find it or search it, and they're gonna be traumatized.
Yep.
So I was just like, it doesn't need to be in a cartoon for them to know what's going on.
Right.
That's not for kids. I wouldn't
No.
want my
Not
child
funny.
to see that.
And first of all, you
Not
shouldn't be teaching my child any lessons like that through no cartoon. That's the job of a parent. I should be able to sit down and have that discussion with my child, not no damn
Exactly.
cartoon on YouTube.
But my thing
Have
is,
a
it was
seat,
so
sir.
exaggerated. I felt like it was so
It was.
graphic, too graphic for a child.
Right.
You have to
For a
check it
child,
out.
'cause that's the first thought I had.
Thank
if a
you.
child see this, they're gonna be traumatized. Like it was a
Thank
small
you.
kid and a big white cop, and he just choking him and
Right.
choked him out. And the
Yes.
other cop go, put your hands up. You're not listening. I'm gonna shoot you. He
Yeah.
can't listen. He's knocked out and just shot him. And you see the
Wow.
blood and bullet holes.
Several times.
Who draws something like that?
It was insane. That's not nothing a kid should
Who
see.
Wow.
draws something?
They already
like
got to see
that?
too much as it is.
Yep.
Why
That's
you got to make it a
crazy.
cartoon version? That just seemed really insensitive to me,
I mean,
and as if somebody made it for a joke.
That hurt.
That's how I took
Right.
it.
That made me more mad than seeing it really happen.
Yeah.
This didn't make any sense to me. Oh my God.
So we're gonna go ahead and change
Well,
gears a
yeah.
little bit.
Let's
Um,
switch gears. Yeah.
That's something.
Mhm. Yeah, we definitely switching gears. So ladies, like, how do you guys feel? Like, do you guys feel like privilege exists in the workplace?
Oh, of course.
Do you guys
Duh.
have any experience?
Absolutely.
I mean, of course I know it does, but you know,
I know you know.
what are some of your experiences with, privilege in the workplace?
Okay,
Anyone
I
got
don't know if
something
y'all
that
want.
they
I
wanna
want to jump in. Let me.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
sis,
girl.
jump in, double
Go ahead,
dutch,
we letting
jump
you in.
in, jump in.
Okay, so,
Double dutch, hey, double dutch, hey.
okay, so I definitely have experienced this in multiple places that I've worked at, but my most recent position was probably the most annoying experience because I worked with someone who was so like white privileged that she didn't even realize it, and she thought she was just down.
Ain't
with
that
the
always the case?
crowd,
They normally don't.
whatever, like.
Right.
One day we were talking about like being pulled over by the cops, and we were just talking about our experiences with that, and she was like, well, it's no different from when my husband got pulled over in his luxury car just because he was driving a luxury car in a nice
Really?
neighborhood. Like, girl, bye. This is not the same situation, okay?
Good night.
ma'am. No.
You're
Good
not
night.
about to, first of all, you're not even acknowledging what I just said about my experiences. Y'all driving a luxury car in a nice neighborhood. Like, girl,
Did you get home?
Wait, Sue is
Okay.
frozen. I don't know if she is for y'all.
yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Honey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am
Go
I
ahead.
still frozen?
No, you good now.
Yeah, she's frozen. Yeah,
Hey, I'm
but
back.
good night to her.
No, so finish what you were
Yes.
saying, Tiff.
But yeah, like you're not about. First of all, you didn't acknowledge anything I said. You completely just overrode everything I said. Like you made it about you. I'm talking
Yes.
about my experience. This is not about you, sis.
And first of all, they don't got no struggle. So
You don't get it.
They
He's
wanted
He's not.
to
Her
be
husband
so
wasn't
mad.
fearing for his life when he got
Luxury
pulled
car.
over.
Right. And then
He wasn't fearing for his life.
he wasn't fearing for his, that's what I'm saying. This is not the same thing.
It's not the
And my
same.
thing is like y'all made it back home. So
Y'all made it back home.
our
And why-
black people
You
didn't have to
drive
record shit,
in a
I'm
damn
sure.
Toyota Honda,
I was like, hey, how you doing?
and
That
they don't
happened.
make it home. So be
And
quiet.
then, exactly. We've been getting pulled over for like come on. Our people get pulled over for stupid reasons. No
For
reason,
nothing.
No reason at all. No
For
reason.
absolutely nothing.
Like Tiff, you remember when we got pulled over?
Huh. Y'all don't even listen.
Yes.
I got pulled over 4 times in my life, and 3 of the times was bogus. Only got pulled over 1 time for something I really did wrong. I made a U-turn where I wasn't supposed to, and I knew it, but I didn't care because I wanted that parking spot. And that's fine. I can take that. I get pulled over. I can admit, my wrongs. But the other 3 times was strictly because of a black person driving a nice car.
Yep.
Strictly.
Mhm.
And y'all witnessed 2 of those times.
Yes.
Strictly.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy. You come up to the car and you don't even say why you pulled me over. You're just gonna say,
Right.
"Oh, a female pushing this. All right, have a good night." What?
But it was multiple. How many cops was there? It was not
like
one.
4 of them.
There was 4. They were at each window shining the light in on us.
Ready with the light, with their guns. They ready.
Ready.
And it's like, what? So that means
So
you.
we
When they
weren't
saw it was
females.
women, they was like, they felt real dumb. Like,
But if
What
we
they was
weren't,
looking for-
imagine the night how the night could have went.
if it
they
was for you, it would have been
in
over.
that car, it would have went totally different.
Yeah.
That
It
right
was
there.
over.
So they
Hands
admitted
down.
basically that they were looking for trouble. They were looking for trouble, but we were women, so they was like, "Oh, y'all have a good night." But I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
sorry, what you pull me over for?"
Yep.
Facts. What the fuck
Like,
you want?
No, they
Like,
walked
what's
away from the
good?
car.
Because why are you here?
I mean, I remember the time when I was driving my mom's luxury car, and the same thing nonsense. Remember, I told y'all how they pulled me over talking about, these tints are too dark, and I'm just like, you mean the factory model tints that it came with? I'm lost as to how I'm being pulled over for tints that the car came with.
With the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how.
They just be looking for shit. Like this
But
is
then when I pull out my card, then it's a different story.
Mm-hmm. So I
You know?
want to talk real quick about a situation. I just remember this about privilege in the workplace. So
Mm-hmm.
I was working as a server at this restaurant, busting my ass. Every shift that they had, I would take it because I was just trying to make money, and I was making really good money. So when people called out, I'll go. I was trying to stack my money. So the owners, there were several owners, but there was one who was just a complete asshole. Every time he came, it was just like a dark cloud came into the restaurant, and he was a white guy. And he found out I made, it was like a big college thing happened at the restaurant, where it was like a college night or something, and all these people from, I think it was Ole Miss or something, came. And it was me and another server. We were completely understaffed, didn't realize it was going to happen. And the other server tanked. She was just so overwhelmed. She had probably about 4 tables. I had the rest in the restaurant. And I was stacking money. I made several $1,000s that night because I didn't panic. I just went through it. When the owner found out that this happened, he then pulls me aside one day and it was like, we're going to move you to the slower location because I feel like you still need more training.
Excuse me?
What? Really?
This is what he said to me. And he was just like, I feel like you still need more training. And I'm just like, how? Like, I run this place. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay.
I was the only Black person working there.
Period. I'm making money for y'all up in here.
And I was racking in money. There was not one table that complained that night. Because I was just rolling through. I was picking up an empty thing, putting down a new one. I was just rolling through
doing what you do.
Had it down to a science. And this is what this man said. So they moved me to the next location, which I couldn't make no money there. And I knew that was because I was a Black woman making thousands of dollars in a restaurant where other people were not.
And outshining his other.
As you was outshining every last person there.
Yeah.
And there was a manager who didn't like me, and it was a white female, and I was making more than her. She's a manager. Managers don't make nothing.
And that's why. That's exactly.
I was making
she gotta go. She gotta go.
And they got rid of me.
And you Black too? Oh hell no, you can't be making more money than me.
Yeah,
that's what they do as like them servers, like the white managers in restaurants, the servers, they make sure, they very strategic on who they put where. Okay, I want this girl at the door. I want this one, at these tables for this client, for this, that, and the third. And I want you to look a certain way. And how's your hair gonna be? Like they're very strategic on that. Because like when I was a server, and I mean, because y'all know I love my braids, so I'll be in the braids, okay? Like I would change my hairstyle. Like I would have braids, I would have a weave, I would have long hair, like whatever, like I wear my hair based, like according to how we get booked. Depending on the person, they may want you with braids, they want you with a fro, a straight weave, whatever. So it's so interesting because when I wore my hair like wet and wavy, straight part in the middle, the Caucasian famous hairstyle, I would be on the schedule more often. Like he would put me on the schedule, like, oh my God, I love your hair like this, Sukiya. Oh my God, Sue, I love your hair. I have to put you on. I was like, could you not call me that? We're not doing that. It's Sue to you, okay? That's what we do. So he was like, okay, Sue, so I'm gonna put you on the schedule like 7 days, but you're gonna be on the schedule all week long. I love your hair. I'm putting you in the front. You're gonna be all the tables. And I'm looking at him like, really? And then when I had my braids, it was like, oh, kind of slow down. I'm like, you about to lie because it don't slow down on nobody Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But so I knew like if I wanted to work this job, I had to look a certain way. Like it's crazy. Yeah. Like they definitely discriminate. And the white girls, they wear a little blonde ponytail to the back, gel down,
they be a hot ass
bun,
mess.
And they be a hot mess, looking a hot mess, but they could work the schedule all week long. Like, huh? But I have to look like glamour out of a magazine for you to put me on the schedule. Like that shit was crazy.
Yep.
But
and I knew my shit. So it was like, what the hell?
Girl. Oh, I'm sure you did, sis. We always have to know our stuff. We always have to go above and beyond.
We do, without a doubt.
Always.
And with that, and with that being said, for me, my experience with privilege in the workplace is more so, it was both. I experienced it, you know, being a Black person, and also experienced it just being a female. You know, even though there were Black men there,
girl,
the privilege because they were men. You know, and I'm talking about when you're moving up in the system. You know, I managed, you know, in the hospitality field, and it was rough. You know, initially they would start me with a certain salary, where the same guy with no experience would automatically get the world thrown at him. Like, he had money.
Oh, hell no.
Experience, they start me to train him. You know, and so I actually experienced, you know, having all the experience, doing my job, doing it well, running a restaurant,
as
and
usual,
having someone that just came from being a server and don't know anything and put them above me to be my boss. He was white,
and you got to train him,
and I had to train him.
And that's how it always goes.
Like, how disrespectful is that?
Are you
and it's like, I work hard for everything I have, double and triple time. Mind you, we had like area director. Of course, she wasn't Black, and she, if you ask me, she's racist. But you know, I played it for what it was, and she didn't like me, of course, because here I am, a confident Black, beautiful woman doing my thing.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I experienced that as well. It was just, I had it double time for me, just being Black, being female, looking younger than I am. So they don't even respect you on that level.
They don't respect you at all.
You just dumb. You know, like, no.
Tell me about it.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. And we all deal with it, being women just in the industry.
Absolutely.
You know, we don't get that privilege. It's always the bottom of the bottom as women.
I mean, because we got 2 strikes before we leave the house automatically. One, we're Black, and then second, we're women. So that's 2 strikes before we step in any establishment. Before we step anywhere, it's like, oh, you're a woman. Oh, and you Black. Oh, no, you getting double time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get it from both ends. It's crazy. There's a constant discrimination on both ends. But like, I mean, what?
I was just gonna say how when we all go out.
I was gonna say that too.
The treatment we get as 5 Black women. They automatically assume we're not gonna tip. We're gonna be rude. We're gonna send stuff. They automatically assume this. And we all have worked in hospitality industry. And we make sure we go above and beyond tipping.
We're the best tippers.
You are the best tippers.
We are, because we know.
Well. Yes.
We know. Yes. We know what it's like to be in their shoes. So we don't try to skim you. But you can't expect to get a great tip if you're giving mediocre service. Like, that doesn't work. It doesn't happen. I can't tell y'all how many times we have to call the manager. We always got to call the manager. We always got to call the manager. Why? Why can't we go and sit down and just enjoy our meal? I swear, I can't think of one time we went out and we didn't have to call the manager, which is ridiculous.
Well, sometimes when we repeat places, if we know, like, you know how we'll request a server because we good. But other than that,
which is sad. We shouldn't have to request a server. We should be able to go in, sit down like everybody else, and get whatever we get, and get treated impeccable. But we don't get impeccable service.
But you know what's crazy about that is, it's not just like getting treated that way from white people. We get treated that way from Black people.
From our own people.
From everyone.
That's
so sad.
It's our own. It's our own. It's the white people.
Yeah.
A little bit of everybody.
Double-edged sword.
We are stereotypes. Black people don't tip. Women are the worst tippers. Like, there's stereotypes.
In my field, when I make sure I have my staff, I try my best to coach them as best I can, to give them, to enlighten them, to let them know it doesn't matter. Like, you know, you give everybody the same service, because you don't praise the ones that over tip you. So why are you so mad when that one person didn't tip you? At the end of the day, it all balances out. You know, you don't run around and go, I don't want that table. I've seen it. Like, I don't want that Black. They come in and I'm like, don't do that. Give everybody the same service, because at the end of the day, you're going to give them messed up service. Then you're going to be like, see, I knew they wasn't going to tip. But you never know if they was going to tip, because you gave them bad service.
Shitty ass service.
It's crazy. I don't understand it. When I served, I gave everybody top-notch service.
Exactly.
I didn't get tipped all the time, no, but it didn't matter to me. And I noticed the ones who didn't tip was the females. That's what they mean. They ain't tipping.
Lord.
They think you coming. They think you want they mean.
That's another
it's like, that's a whole nother show. But you understand what I'm saying?
So what we're about to do right now is get into these comments, though. What the comments are saying?
Yeah, let's go to these comments for real.
What's the comments talking about, ladies?
Listen. We can go on and on.
Listen, you know, we know.
Ray.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, sis. You go ahead. Read it.
No, go ahead. Read it.
So Ray Raquel Eastman says, My partner got pulled over coming out of McDonald's drive-thru. He apparently matched the description of someone who was just involved in an armed robbery. So you commit an armed robbery and then go to McDonald's?
Exactly.
Wow.
That's the excuse all the time.
Girl.
That's the excuse.
We all
that?
like every
Sorry,
man.
you
It don't
fit the
matter.
Then she
description.
said
We
it was.
fit the
Then she
description
said it
all
was
the time.
around
Every
9 to
black
10 p.m.
9
Like
to
9 to
10
10 p.m.
What
Really?
robbery?
So I'm gonna rob your house and then let me go get a Whopper. I need a
Yeah.
Whopper right now. Really?
Not at McDonald's though. You didn't get a Whopper at McDonald's though.
Oh, sorry. Clearly I don't eat there. Sorry. Clearly
A
I
Big
don't eat
Mac.
there.
Heard
Big
you.
Mac,
A
sorry,
I
Big
don't
Big
know
Mac.
what they serve. I don't eat that.
Girl, clearly I don't eat that because I said a Whopper.
But I'm just saying, you ain't getting that there.
Right,
Sorry.
right.
I mean, yeah, Big Mac. Sorry.
It's true.
Clearly,
But
this
we
is
always
always
fit
right
the
here, right?
We
Never.
fit every description. It's crazy.
Yeah, I
They
think
would
that's
Spencer
the
said he got pulled
Because they
over
look
stories for
suspicious.
days.
Right.
Oh
Spencer.
yeah, we
Exactly.
would love to hear one of his stories. We'd love to
Pulled
What
hear.
he
over
said?
stories for days. Spencer said I got pulled over stories for days.
Oh my God.
And that's sad because I'm sure
Girl.
99.99% of the time he did nothing wrong.
Right.
Right.
He was a
Oh,
black
Lord.
man driving. That's what he did wrong. He a black man driving. That's it.
Right.
A nice car.
A nice
Robin
on
Hood.
top of
That's how it
that.
go.
Good night.
That's how I go.
And
It's
that's the thing. As soon as they see a
So
nice car, they're already
scary.
looking.
It's
They're
so
looking. They're
scary.
looking to
It's
see.
so
Ooh,
scary. It's a
crazy.
scary life we have to live. Seriously.
But I'm sorry, I didn't finish what I was saying about the coworker.
oh
So,
yeah,
Oh,
sure.
go ahead.
so yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Girl, we all got so many experiences. Just let it out, honey.
Oh, dude.
He was just letting it out.
Yes. No, but real quick. So with the same woman that was talking about, I'm not white privilege and all of that.
Right.
She and I pretty much did the same job, but she made double my salary. She's well in the 6 figures.
Wow.
She's chilling. We did the same job. In fact, I worked harder than her. I
You
did
did more work, sis.
I did
I'm
more
sorry.
work than her. You're right. You're my witness. I did more work than her. And
I
she-
witnessed it, guys.
And she was barely at work. She was always on vacation, always taking time off, always calling up for this, that, and that. And I had to be there because why? Because if I wasn't, I would be let go. I have to work harder. I have to prove myself. I have to always be present, or else I'm not gonna have a job. But you can do whatever you want, make your money, and be good. Y'all be coasting. And this is not fair. Like, why do we have to work 10 times as hard just to make a little bit, make a percentage of what
A
they
little
make?
bit, some coins, a little bit.
And this is why we need our own businesses. We need to support our own businesses.
Yes.
Make it happen. Stop working for them because they're never gonna
Let them.
That's
Yeah,
right.
let them work for
Own
themselves since I
business.
want to treat them so good. Have your own people work there. How about that? And let us make our own
But
money.
I don't think they
because-
understand. Like when we say we,
Because they want us to go out there and risk our
if there
lives
was
right
no
now.
black people right here in the United States, they wouldn't know how to survive. We built this.
Only
Not only
women-
did we build this, we run it. When you think about it, any and everything about it, everything that they like and they praise, whether it's sports, whatever, black people is in the top running.
Yep.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you
That's
kidding?
why us as black people need to put our money into black businesses.
Absolutely.
Stop being like, oh, I don't want to support them because they, I don't want them to do better than me. Are you like, if we were to all put our money in black owned, a lot of this stuff would not go down because they need our money.
Facts.
They need it.
It's not behind.
Let's put it in our own communities and businesses.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It
People
always
always
works.
give
It
excuses
never
about it.
fails. Like I always go back to the Rosa Parks. They hit them in the pockets.
Yeah.
And what they did, they was like, all right, I can say
Right.
what I want now. Okay, you got it. Because they wasn't making any money. You think about it back then, nobody was taking the bus but us. It was select few people taking the bus. The white people had cars.
Right.
So you wanted me to sit in the back and I'm supplying you, I'm paying your bills? All right, heard you. Hit them in the pockets. That's the only way it's gonna work.
Right.
The only way it's gonna work. We
I
gotta
feel like that too.
Don't give excuses talking about.
That's why they're so ready to get the economy back.
If it's black owned, I bet you it's gonna be pricey or whatever. Like, do you want good quality?
So what?
Like what do you want?
You don't think, but you don't think nothing when it's
Gucci,
true. Exactly.
You wear Chanel,
Exactly.
you wear
I was
Prada,
about to say the same
you
thing.
wear all
Like,
those
come
name
on.
brands. You
You
wear,
don't think
you wear
right.
all those name
Blink
brands.
an eye. You don't blink an eye when it comes to none of that. Get
Yeah.
out of
And
here.
you don't ask for no sale, you don't ask for no discount. You pay that,
Nope.
you pay that $2,000 for that bag.
Yep.
I saw
and have several of them.
I saw a black owned company that said something about, a lot of people, they're always like, oh, this customer service isn't good. And they're impatient. Like, dang, I just ordered. Why ain't here tomorrow? And they do all that stuff. And they're like, well, you have to think we are a small company.
Yep.
These corporate companies can whip out things just
They
like
got
that
it.
because there's
Exactly.
plenty of
They got
people to do it. but we're a small company. So it's not, we're doing bad
Yeah,
customer
exercise
service.
patience.
You just have to be patient. And we will get it out. And they're saying that. I can understand if somebody just being rude, but no, they're literally saying like, hey, it's going to take 10 to 15 days to process. If you don't have that time, then please do not order. Like I've read this
Or
in
order
things.
ahead of time.
It's going to take this. It's going to take that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she frozen a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's right though. She's right. 10 to 15 business days. And on top of that, what you want to do too, you just know you got to order ahead of time. Like, if I'm ordering like a product like lotion, I know I got to order this before my lotion go out. Let me order 2 at a time. Or let me order, you gotta prep yourself a little bit different.
You gotta prep ahead. That's all.
It doesn't mean you don't support. You come back and find out or sometimes I email Black businesses like, hey, this was my experience with you, going forward, make sure you try to use this instead of that because I didn't like the fact that how you gave me this. Like I'll email them that and they'll be like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Next time I'll give you like 5% off, stuff like that. So sometimes even if you give them an idea, they may not know they're just getting started. Like help each other, support each other. That's what all other communities do.
Absolutely.
But people are so quick to in the comments, like on Instagram, I'm waiting on my package. I ain't get this, I ain't get that. It's like, why?
Yes, like
email?
wait, patience.
Like
why is this on their
call
Instagram?
them,
Send the email.
them,
like you doing that to be seen so that people don't order from them. You're causing a problem.
That's our problem as Black people. When we sort of stick together, we quick to cancel somebody else that's Black. Oh, cancel them. That's it. Fuck that. But when they're a white person, all right, you give them another chance. And I'm not just saying
fuck that. I'm out.
You give them another chance because if your stuff is late from that white business, you're gonna definitely give them another chance. You're gonna email them. You're gonna do all the necessary steps. But when it's a Black business, you want to cancel them, F them. I'm gonna tell people not to shop here. Yeah. And it's like, I don't understand why we conditioned that way. We not conditioned to give ourselves
that's a whole other topic.
A second chance.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad.
So we have any more comments, ladies? What's our people saying?
Spencer said huge companies have contracts with courier services.
That's true. They do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier for them. There's a lot of these Black-owned businesses that they be having hundreds of thousands of packages and they're driving them up to the post office in their car. Like it is one person doing this. So just think about things like that.
Be mindful, be patient, be supportive. Like
everybody wants everything now. Everything is like
microwave.
They don't want to wait.
Tip as hard as those drinks that's coming in.
I tip as hard as those drinks.
Heard you.
Always talking about a drink.
Right.
Heard you. I'll be tipping as hard as them things coming in too. You got to support whatever it is you support. You can't want all this and then don't tip. I never understood that. When I say I'm tipping, don't go out with me. Story. That may cause our friendship to be a little different too. If I go out with somebody,
that's another topic, girl.
If I was girl,
don't tip.
I can think of too much stuff with that.
I be feeling some type of way.
That's because you know the business. That's where you come from. So
come on now.
That's a whole other situation. But all right, so it seems like we're winding down. If we don't have any more comments, we're gonna go ahead and wind down. Our hours has, come to an end.
That was quick.
So we're gonna go ahead and close out another successful show, ladies. We did it.
Yes.
Podcast number 9.
Hey.
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Oh,
thank y'all for joining us on Zoom.
Yes,
Lamar and everybody, we appreciate y'all.
Thank
you. Give you our contact information on how to reach us.
Happy birthday, Rachel! Again.
Happy birthday, Rachel!
Happy birthday!
Yes, happy birthday!
It's her birthday right now. She's in London, so shout her out.
That's right. Shout her out, guys. Show her some love in the comments.
Well, we got the Bronx in the building. We got London.
Hi, Lamar. Lamar is here with us in Zoom. Hey, Lamar.
Hey, Lamar.
And Lamar says happy birthday.
Hey, Maury. That's my cousin.
Oh,
hey, cousin.
Lamar said, great show. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for signing in. Check us out. We appreciate you.
Continue to.
I love your name, Lamar Power of Words. Yes, I love
that's
that.
right.
Okay. Yes. Hello.
Yes.
With the name though.
Right.
Yes. All right, guys. So guess what our name is? Surprise, the Phoenix Jewels. We are the Phoenix Jewels. Andrea Scotland let y'all know what it is earlier. So if you just got here, you better go figure out what's Phoenix Jewels, baby. All right. You can reach us on our Instagram at the Phoenix Jewels and on our Facebook at the Phoenix Jewels, where you should be right now on live. And you can reach us on Twitter at Phoenix_Jewels. And you can book us or reach out to us for any information at bookphoenixjewels@gmail.com. All right, guys. Again, we thank you so very much for tuning in each and every Thursday at 6 p.m. We are grateful for you. We appreciate you. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. Again, this is show number 9. And this is Black Lives Matter edition number 4. And we are happy to be with you today. And again, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, guys, and definitely check out the Phoenix Jewels PSA on our page for Black Lives Matter. And
Yes,
while
we
we
did
say
that.
Black Lives Matter, definitely check us out on our Facebook page. Check it out, share it if you agree with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, keep showing us love, and because we love you guys. Thank you so much.
We would love your feedback also. Like, you know,
Yeah.
this is part 4, Black Lives Matter. You know, we can talk about this forever because I feel like this is not going to end, even, you know, dealing with this for our whole lives. But, you know, just give us your input and let us know, you know, some things that you want to talk about, some things you want to hear, you know, just so that maybe we can address those things. It could be anything, maybe not Black Lives Matter related or so. So just let us know, drop a comment, send us an email, Instagram, whatever, you know, just let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you want to hear us talk about. We here for the people, you know, let us know.
We appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Yes, period.
And
So,
thank you
guys,
for
you know what it
everything.
is. Next Thursday at 6 p.m., you need to be on our Facebook Live or on our Zoom. We see you guys then. Peace.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.